If you spend any part of your day in Zoom meetings, team huddles, client calls, training sessions, or just demos, the way you look and sound can have a huge impact on how people respond to you. Because the reality is that most people rely on whatever audio-video gear is built into their laptop and don't realize how much that can hold them back. Here's an example of the quality from a typical corporate laptop most people use for Zoom.
So here's a quick test using a high-end AMD laptop with a built-in microphone and webcam with overhead lighting.
However, by investing in your audio, video, and lighting, you can dramatically improve how you present yourself to something like this.
So here's a quick test using the Elgato Facecam 4K, the Wave DX microphone with the voice focus plugin, and the key lights.
With this in mind, I'm going to walk you through a Zoom setup that produces a clear, confident, professional presence, and explain why each part of it really matters. We're going to start with the camera because your face is the first thing everyone sees in a meeting. Using the Facecam 4K in this setup gives you stable detail and natural color without the exposure jumps or color shifts you can sometimes see in laptop webcams. It looks clean and consistent, and that's a big part of a solid professional look. Now let's look at the prompter. It isn't something you need, but once you've used one, it's hard to give up. It lines your eyes up with the camera lens, so conversations can feel natural. You can follow notes or chat without looking distracted. With the prompter, you're able to look directly at meeting participants when they're speaking, and that eye contact makes them feel listened to. It creates that sense that you're engaged and actually hearing what they're saying. In most Zoom calls, people are looking at the faces on their screen, pulling their eyes away from their cameras. So while they may be listening, they don't look like they're listening. The prompter solves that. It helps you build connections with people in situations where making a connection is really challenging, online meetings. And the software behind both the camera and the prompter, Camera Hub, keeps everything predictable. You can lock your exposure, set your white balance, adjust framing, and save profiles. It even allows you to read from a script for more formal presentations and dynamically control all of it using a Stream Deck, something we'll talk about shortly. Good lighting can have a big impact on how you look as well. It doesn't just brighten your face, it gives your camera the extra light it needs to produce a quality image with less noise. And by reducing noise, your video will be less distracting, which allows it to get out of the way and draw attention back towards you. For this setup, I'm using two key lights that are split to the left and right of me. And you don't need to understand lighting theory here. You just turn them on, turn up the brightness of the light on the left to fully illuminate that side of your face, and then adjust the other light to soften any shadows on the right side of your face. That will instantly elevate how you look on camera. Control Center is what makes the lights so easy to use. Brightness and color temperature adjustments are simple sliders, and you can save presets for different times of day. Best of all, everything integrates with the Stream Deck Plus, so you can make adjustments in the middle of a meeting just by turning a dial. Audio is the part of this setup that people underestimate the most, but it is key to keeping people engaged. If you sound warm, clear, and easy to listen to, your message lands. If you're cutting out, have distracting background noise, or are just too quiet, others will be inclined to either tune you out or will spend their mental energy trying to decipher the words you're saying versus the meaning behind them. Using the Wave DX in this setup gives you focused, rich sound. It's a dynamic mic, so it naturally rejects background noise and keeps your voice clear. And paired with the XLR dock on the Stream Deck Plus, you get clean gain, reliable mute, and real-time monitoring. With the Stream Deck Plus XLR dock powering the Wave DX, Wavelink 3 acts as our command center. The new routing table design is perfect for this hybrid setup. It lets you see exactly where the audio flows. You can check the box to send your mic and OBS media playback into the Zoom mix, but you need to ensure that you've unchecked the incoming Zoom audio from that same column. With this, you can hear the attendees in your headphones, but they don't hear themselves echoing back. All managed in one clean grid. Once a meeting starts, smooth control becomes surprisingly important. You shouldn't be digging through menus in the middle of a demo or presentation. And all of that is powered by the Stream Deck software. You can build pages for Zoom, lighting, audio, OBS scenes, whatever your workflow needs. As an example, here is a look at our demonstration Stream Deck setup. Here, you have multiple folders to logically separate the different functionality you need. In the Startup folder, you have an easy way to launch all of your apps without having to navigate any menus or even touch your mouse or keyboard. In the Lights folder, you can use the built-in knobs in the Stream Deck Plus to granularly adjust the brightness of your lights individually, toggle them on and off, and adjust their color temperature. In the Video folder is everything you need to make quick adjustments to your face cam, allowing you to zoom in and out or to pan the image around so that you're framed better. And one of the really convenient integrations between the Stream Deck, Facecam, and the prompter is that with a press of a button, you can briefly toggle your Facecam video on and off the prompter itself so you can visually confirm any changes you make. Because Elgato provides Stream Deck plugins for all of their hardware and software, as well as popular third-party solutions like OBS and Zoom, you can manage almost everything in your meeting from a single device. Everything we've covered so far improves how you look and sound. OBS improves how you present. If you share slides, demos, bullet points, or visuals, OBS lets you structure them in a way that keeps people focused. Two-box layouts, picture-in-picture, slide-over bars, all the things Zoom can't do on its own. And OBS has one feature that makes it perfect for Zoom, the virtual webcam. Whatever layouts you build in OBS, cameras plus slides, picture-in-picture, demo windows, they can be sent directly into Zoom as your camera feed. And that means that everyone in the meeting sees the version of your presentation you want them to see. And because Stream Deck integrates directly with OBS, switching layouts is instant and predictable. No lag, no sharing screens, just a powerful, streamlined way to communicate your ideas. Now, you don't need to buy everything I just showed to improve how you look and sound in Zoom. If you're building this setup piece by piece, here's how I'd prioritize any gear upgrades you may be considering. The camera is the foundation of how you visually show up on Zoom. A high-quality, stable image instantly communicates clarity, confidence, and presence. The Facecam 4K delivers consistent color and exposure without the distractions that can come from built-in webcams. If you upgrade nothing else, this alone makes a substantial difference. And while the camera is priority 1, audio is really priority 1B. They work together. Clear video keeps people visually engaged, but clear audio keeps them mentally engaged. The two are almost inseparable in how your presence is perceived. If people can't hear you clearly, they tune you out, even if you look great. So, if the Wave DX and XLR dock are outside your budget, you should still avoid using a built-in laptop or webcam mic. A USB mic like the Neo or Wave 3, or even a good wired headset will give you focused, understandable sound that's on a completely different level from built-in mics. And if you skip the mic arm and the XLR dock, you still get most of the benefit while saving around $200 to $250. Lighting gives you the biggest visual improvement. Even a single full-size key light makes you look dramatically more professional. Using one instead of two saves about $130, while staying very clean and just a bit less cinematic. The Stream Deck Plus becomes more valuable the moment you move beyond simple meetings. Having direct tactile control of your audio, lighting, Zoom actions, and OBS scenes, all from a single control surface, keeps you focused and prevents awkward on-screen fumbling. It doesn't change how you look or sound, but it dramatically improves how smoothly you run a meeting or a presentation. And if you present often, this is a high-impact quality of life upgrade. The prompter is still an optional upgrade, and if the budget is tight, this is the one piece you can skip. But it's helpful to understand why some people love using one. That's because the prompter places your meeting participants and your camera lens in the same spot. Looking at people and looking at the camera becomes almost the same action. It feels natural. You're simply watching the meeting, but your eyes stay aligned with the lens. That makes conversations feel more connected and helps other people feel seen while they're speaking. But here's the important part. Even without a prompter, it's still worth building the habit of looking directly into the camera at key moments, both when you're talking and when others are talking. It feels a little unnatural at first because you're not looking at their faces on screen, but those intentional moments of eye contact make a real difference. They signal confidence when you're speaking, and they signal genuine attention when you're listening. So, while the prompter can make this effortless, the underlying skill is free, and learning it will instantly improve how you come across in any Zoom meeting. And if you do eventually add a prompter, it just enhances what you already trained yourself to do. So that's the full setup, and the reasoning behind each part of it. My goal here isn't to get you to buy specific gear, but to give you a roadmap for improving how you show up on Zoom. Even adding one or two pieces can have a noticeable impact. And when you combine them with OBS, which is free, your presence in meetings can really be magnified. If Zoom is a meaningful part of your workday, improving how you look, sound, and present is one of the best upgrades you can make. If you want to dive deeper into any part of this setup, just let me know in the comments below. I'm John Mahoney. Thanks for taking the time to watch. I'll see you next time.